There's some confusion about the new STEM middle school opening up in Valparaiso. Today, I hope to answer some of your questions. Hi, I'm your host, Valerie Bogar, and this is Insight. First, let me introduce to you our guest. This is Dr. Alexis Tibbetts. She's the superintendent at the Okaloosa County schools, and she's here along with some of our guests. We're going to have some kids here joining us, and they're going to be talking to us about STEM because, you know, I want to know more about it. I heard a little bit about it, but I don't know that much about it. And I just want to know, could you actually tell our viewers a little bit more about STEM?
I'd be delighted to do that, Valerie. STEM is an acronym for Science, Technology, Engineering, Math, and now the new M, Medical, has been added to that. These are the professions that America is in the most need of. We're in a critical short field for these professions. In fact, over 65% of jobs in the future will touch one of those career fields. The problem is, Valerie, less than 20% of students in America are getting degrees in college in those fields. Now, if 65% of the jobs in America depend on that, and less than 20% of students are getting degrees in that, then it becomes incumbent on the K-12 system. If we want to have a strong nation and a strong workforce, and we want to have a strong defense system, and we want to be able to protect our nation 25 years from now, then we must find ways to encourage all students, and particularly our brightest and best students, to go into science, technology, engineering, math, and medical as a career field.
Wow, that's an excellent idea. And when will the STEM in middle school, because I heard that they're actually going to start that in Valparaiso, so when were they thinking about opening that? And what's their proposed phase of enrollment?
Okay, we actually have a STEM center that we're beginning in the old site of the Valparaiso Elementary School. That school was closed several years ago due to low enrollment. We're not reopening the school, we're simply placing a program there for middle school students because the research is very compelling, Valerie, that if we don't hook kids in middle school into STEM, high school is too late. Some kids decide they either don't like science or math or engineering or technology, or that the classes are too hard, and really they're not. We have to hook their curiosity early. The other parts of the STEM Center, though, are going to be a big teacher training component. That's very important, Valerie, because teachers have to be well trained if we want them to hook the students. And then there's going to be a small EFA program where every fifth grader in our county will come to the STEM Center to learn about engineering sorties or experiments, we call them. The middle school is planning to open this August. We're going to have 60 to 70 students. It's going to only be for sixth graders. Okay. And these are students that made a level 5 on their FCAT in the 4th grade in math. But the exciting part about it is every year we'll add another 70 students. So in 3 years, there'll be around 200 students at the STEM middle school program.
Oh, that sounds like an excellent plan. And what are some of the partners that have committed to be involved with the STEM school?
Well, I know you're going to be seeing a slide of this in a moment, but there are so many. But let me just start by saying that AFRL, the Air Force Research Lab at Eglin Air Force Base, and the Air Armaments Center have been by far our two strongest and main partners. The reason Valpo Elementary is a perfect site for this is that it's right next to Eglin Air Force Base. We're signing an agreement at the next board meeting that engineers and scientists and mathematicians and technologists can leave the base and come over for an hour and spend some time with our students, mentoring them and actually teaching our teachers. That's very exciting, so these people can use the skills they already have. We sit here in the Mecca. We have the Silicon Valley of Florida right here in our backyard, and we need to take advantage of the brains of these smart men and women who are stationed at Eglin. We also have many partners in Raytheon, Jacobs Technology, L3, Cox Communication has been a big partner for us. We have people in our hospitals, our Twin Cities Medical Center, and we also are getting a lot of interest from the people who would sponsor like Pittsco and other classroom labs, and Apple computer labs.
Oh, really? That's cool.
We want to keep pushing the envelope with new kinds of technology, because remember, technology is obsolete in a very short period of time. So we're
That's
excited.
True. And they will be provided, will the students be provided with you know, technology like an iPad or something like that to use in
They
class?
will. They will
so cool.
each have an individual iPad. But we are grateful to our sponsors. We always need more, and we want to encourage people. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, many people have stepped up, and we need many more people to step up. The Biophilia Center, the E.O. Wilson, there's just many, many partners.
You know, that sounds excellent, and with all those programs and medical center and such, but it sounds like that the curriculum might be a little bit rigorous. So, so what will some of the requirements have to be?
It's going to be pretty rigorous.
Okay.
All of the 6th graders will take pre-algebra, and all the 7th graders will take algebra, and all the 8th graders will take geometry.
Okay.
And as far as science is concerned, our middle school students will complete a course in both earth-space science and physical science that are high school credit. So students in middle school will receive high school credits in both algebra and geometry and physical science and earth-space honors while they're in middle school.
Wow.
And in addition to that, they will receive 2 or 3 elective credits in high school coursework, a foreign language credit, and then they will receive a credit in IT, either web design or introduction to IT. And then we have another applied course that they will be doing lots of critical thinking and research in that will be applied to engineering, and it will also be a high school credit course. So really, Valerie, the kids that participate in this program will complete 1 year of high school, 1 complete year of high school, while they are in middle school. And then they will go to high school actually as sophomores. And then the goal is, with our strong partnership with Northwest Florida State College and University of West Florida, that these students will take dual enrollment classes in their sophomore year in their high schools, and then by their junior or senior year they will actually be going to the Reef, which is the University of Florida Center over in Shalimar, and be taking courses in engineering from UWF, from University of West Florida. So these students will probably complete at least 1 year of college in engineering before they graduate from high school.
Oh, that is awesome. You know, it does sound pretty tough to do that, you know, at such an early age, but then the good news is when they get older, they'll get used to it, and they're like, well, hey, I've been in a program in middle school, so it should be a piece of cake. Just other quick questions. How will the children be transported to school? And will the children be required to do uniforms? Will they have to wear uniforms?
Yes, they are going to wear khaki bottoms, and it's kind of a light blue shirt, a polo shirt, but many students in our community already wear, we call it a uniform dress code shirt, either a t-shirt or a polo shirt at their schools, and similar bottoms, either skirts or pants. And they'll be transported from what we call hubs, Valerie. In other words, there'll be a hub on the south end of Crestview, there'll be a hub on the I guess you'd say the north end of Fort Walton, and then we'll have a hub in the central part of the county, and students' parents can certainly bring them. The school will be starting around 7:30, and some students' parents who work near or around the base can drop them off.
And so when you mean by hub, does that mean that there'll be some kind of location, and so the parents will be required to send their children to that hub, and then they leave from there?
They can either pick up a bus out and work their way in, or their parents can drop them off at a specific spot.
Oh, okay. And then, do you know like the times, like how early they have to be there? Is it about the same as the public schools?
Well, we are aiming at starting the middle school STEM program around 7:30. Okay. Now, all of the middle schools in our county don't start at the same time. Some start late at 9 o'clock, like Destin Middle when I was principal there, and some start earlier. I think Meg starts at 7, but 7:30 would be our goal for this school. Now, the students will be involving themselves in lots of after-school activities. They can actually go over to Lewis Middle middle school, though, after school there will be a bus for people who want to participate in sports, athletic programs, cross country, basketball, football, baseball, cheerleading, soccer, whatever. And then their parents can pick them up after ball practice, just like they would at any normal middle school. So the kids will have the advantages of the STEM Center in participating in all kind of activities at Lewis.
So when they go to Lewis, that means that like they can actually try out for the teams there, and they'll be competing with the Lewis. Okay.
Absolutely. These students would be on the Lewis teams. Now, some of them could go back to their home schools and be in athletics, but it would be hard to get back to their home school in time for those activities to start. But we're really excited about this school. The after school programs include a lot of things like math counts, either by individual or group teams, and lots of robotics teams will be practicing after school and problem solving teams. So there'll be lots of things for students to do after school. And the before school program is neat because engineers are going to stop off. We're going to have a cafe, an internet cafe, where engineers from Eglin on their way to work can stop and talk to students about research projects, science fair projects, just give them mentoring while they have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Oh, that's awesome. So is that like, do you know how much earlier that will be? Like, is it going to be like an hour before that?
Oh, no. We're talking probably about 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And then remember that these mentors, these scientists, these engineers, they have the capability of coming over during the day occasionally to work with students if they've got a special project. For example, Valerie, unmanned vehicles. This is really the wave of the future, even for aerial vehicles. And it's something that students have a very keen interest in. And I know that the work that's being done actually in and around our area is moving in that dimension. So we want our students schooled up in unmanned vehicles. So we want some of the leading scientists in our area that know about those and how they work, certainly, to these remote control vehicles, to work with our students and give them some of that information and that insight. So that would just be one type of a project or a class that we would have before or after school with these scientists.
Wow, that sounds like fun. I think big, and my mind goes off. I was just wondering if the kids, let's just say hypothetically, if the kids like came up with like an invention or something throughout the program, would they be able to take credit on that or use that for their resume or something like that?
That's a very interesting question. Actually, we're going to be using some of the equipment from the labs, and we are going to actually give students credit for something that they come up with and invent through the help of these scientists. Now, we're very excited that we're going to have a virtual reality lab. There could be a cave screen that is actually going to be donated to us, and that's going to be awesome. Just listening to the scientists at Eglin talk about this, it's very, probably much farther over my head than I can even be able to explain here, but it's very exciting to listen to how the scientists at the base develop things and then test them in a cave screen or atmosphere, as they call it. And our students will actually have the capability to do that there. Maybe not the first year. We will go over and use the reef. They have a cave screen there and room, but after that we will be able to.
All right, Mr. Rick Soria has been named as the principal and director of the new Okaloosa STEM Middle School. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Mr. Soria has been the assistant principal at Choctawhatchee High School for many years. Before that, he taught ROTC at Choctawhatchee High School. He's very on fire and enlivened about STEM. He actually developed a program in conjunction with the Air Armament Museum here, where the students, Engineers for America, our elementary students, and trained many teachers in different kinds of physical science phenomena and concepts and sorties to test. So we're very excited about Mr. Soria being the director of this program. He's an awesome educator.
Is there any way that adults can crash into this program? Because it sounds awesome.
We would love to have anyone come by and visit. Mr. Soria really doesn't go on the job full-time for several weeks, so y'all are going to have to give him part of the summer. But I do have to give a big shout out to Senator Gates. He helped us with some major funding for this program, $389,000. And toward the end of July or the first part of August, Senator Gates and Governor Scott are going to be our guests. We're going to have a big dedication dedication, and I hope you and your mom Nellie and all of the people in the community that have supported this will come out for that big dedication and ceremony.
Oh, definitely. You know, this sounds awesome. Excited. I wish I was, a kid so I can be part of this program. But, I would like to thank you so much for telling us about this program. You know, just you describing it, because it's different than just seeing it on paper, but you describing it, it makes a big difference. And I hope you made a big difference to the audience out there, and they get a real good idea for their kids, or their kids who are even in pre-K now, that can prepare them, for it.
And Valerie, I want to remind, though, everyone watching that our great STEM programs in all of our elementary, middle, and high schools are going to stay in place. This program in no way replaces any of the awesome programs, and we've got great robotics programs and things in all of our schools already.
I'm glad you're bringing that up, because when we come back, we're actually going to have 2 kids joining us, and one of them has actually been admitted to the new STEM middle school program, and the other has actually been doing some STEM programs in Bruder Middle School. So you guys need to stay back so you can come back and see the kids that's going to join us here on Insight.